Hey, Pure Grace from the Pure Love Kingdom. I am the ruling queen of this kingdom. We are so excited because we have a second round coming out. All of our characters introduced themselves this week, and they will be introducing themselves again. Yeah, we always say who we are. Um, but I'm excited about the topics that we have coming out this week. Um, some of the girls are going to be going deeper into emotions and feelings and thoughts. It's like we kind of got our feet wet with our first round of 14. And so we're back for round two. So I'm really excited. I can't wait to see hundreds of. I need to stop fussing with my hair. Uh, I can't wait to see hundreds of videos out, and at 14 a week, that'll take a little while, but not that long. In like 6 weeks or so, or maybe 8 weeks, whatever. You would think as Queen of Pentacles, I would know my math. Um, yeah, it's more like 7 weeks or so. So 6 more weeks from today. So I was right. Yeah, always got to trust your intuition. Like numbers have always popped into my head just like that. Like I can call it. I know how much things cost. I know how much I spend. I intuitively know, and then I do the research to prove it on paper. Yes, I was right. So anyway, we have a topic. I have a topic that I was told by Katrina that I needed to talk about. I work with the branding girl as well to figure out what I'm going to talk about. So today, I wanted to talk about how important it is to find a spouse. And we're all about commitment and marriage here and finding a king. And hey, a king puts a ring on your finger. So you're not going to have a Playboy king. The only way you're going to have that is if you're like pretending and doing porn or something. Like you can pretend to be a king, or you can think that you're the king of women or whatever. But that is not what we're talking about. We are talking about finding that loyal, committed partner, and the importance of finding somebody who's equally matched to you that you can create abundance with. Because what we're really all about is not just finding somebody to like finding a guy to get married to and having children and eventually having like a little house and having your cars. Like we don't play in such a small 3D world. We're actually about divine masculine and feminine union. Our Empress in the Kingdom, Pure Wish, will talk more about divine feminine and energy at some point. We do talk about it. All the characters kind of talk about it because we're really about balancing those. But a divine individual is somebody who has a high level spiritual connection um, with themselves and with another person. And men obviously can rise in their divinity. Usually the female leads the way, and she has a stronger intuitive connection with divine, and she can really imagine and hold on to a 3D vision. And so, um, boy, you are in trouble if you have a connection with a divine female and she can no longer hold the vision of you two together. It's gone, it's out the window. But what we try to do is not necessarily attach it to a person, because you can be wrong about people, um, but we attach it to an energy. So what kind of energy do you want to attract into your life? And our relationship coach is going to be talking about this more. She has a program coming out to help with that. And that's a really cool program. She has not talked about it much. I don't think she's talked about it at all yet. So I'm not going to spill the beans on her. But what I'm showing up to talk about is more about the abundance that you create in this world, and more abundance that you can tap into. Like it's unlimited, the amount of abundance that you can tap into. But when you come together and you meet that right person and you are totally like this, and you share your life dreams and your body and your time and everything, if a divine feminine can lead the way and create her business on her own and start building her kingdom on her own, imagine if there's two people coming together. I was just listening to something about the Holy Grail, which is kind of like the Trinity in religion. So it's Christ, God, and the Holy Spirit. Um, our Empress might talk a little bit more about twin flames. That's even another level above what I talk about, because I'm the queen here. I'm the Queen of Pentacles. The Empress is above me. So she is like even into that, but it's a wonderful vision to work towards, and it's pretty powerful, and I've heard about it some. And so in the Holy Grail, the Holy Grail is what you create together. And she might talk about that. Like maybe she'll make a video on that sometime in the future. I really should just say it. Like you come together as two divine people, this divine energy that comes together. We're just in this human form. So you come together first in a 5D, and then you come together in the 3D, and you create and hold the Holy Grail together. So I didn't fully listen to it all the way through. Like I really didn't totally get the concepts, but I do, because it's a very I've heard that you can like it's three together, and it's not man, woman, and baby. It's literally man, woman, and business. And the Holy Grail that you create together is like that business. So that's what we're really about. Like not just like having a great husband or a great partner that supports you and he has his job and you have your job. That's cool and that's awesome. But if you want to go the next step and you want to create a business together, that's what we're about. And it's really important. You have to make sure that that person checks off everything. You have to get very clear on who you want to attract into your life as that partner. Now, Katrina Marie did this. She was married twice. The first husband was a no-go. She might share some stories about that. I think she has, but she knew that there was going to be no abundance. She decided she did not want a baby with him. When she met her second husband, she looked in his eyes like that. That's how women know. Women know years ahead of time. And she was like, wow, that's my next husband, and I'm going to have 4 babies with him, and this guy is going to build me a castle. Now, he didn't build her a castle, but he had all the blueprints, and when he died, he left her with 2 different properties, one that they got on their honeymoon and one that they were on together to build a castle on. So in our kingdom, we have those assets. We have 2 pieces of property, one that's 30 acres and one that's 8.8 acres. Kind of cool. She got that on her honeymoon. Instead of going on a honeymoon, they invested in property. So, and there will be a castle built on that one eventually. But so their castle was hidden. Her wealth was hidden. And so it's a huge barn to store everything, like Doomsteader, Homesteader. And it's really, I can't believe I'm actually releasing this to the world and saying this out loud, but sometimes wealth can be hidden, and the wealthier people are, the more it's hidden. And sometimes your spouse, their talents and their gifts can be hidden, and they can be under layers of just crap, like, and it takes years to get to know them, to know who they really are and what they're capable of doing. They might have layers of fear and self-doubt and everything over them. And so, and Katrina's second husband did kind of have that, and that's why he didn't really have the abundance coming in. He didn't have the pentacles coming in. So she worked on bringing those pentacles in. So she had the 9 pentacles and he had the 1. Still a great man, still stepped up in other ways. So even though he couldn't provide pentacles, he did jobs that were worth like $100,000 for her, with their house, with their properties. And it was really hard when she lost him, because, now she had to pay other people to do some of what he did, and like a third of what he did. So the one thing though that I want to really get to is that farm is disguised. It looks like nothing. So people will see it from the outside and just be like, "Ah, you're a farm girl." Yeah, well, 1% of people own a farm. And a farm is survival. A farm is someplace that you can grow abundance, and an abundance of food. You can have windmills. There's windmills all around that farm. You can have solar out there. There's a huge barn to put solar on, but upstate New York doesn't get a lot of sun like all year round. It only gets it in the summer. There's like 6 months. But the property is the abundance. And because of which you can grow, because you can have animals, because you can totally check out of how the normal society lives, and you can go there, a place of safety, a place of protection, that's safe from everybody. That's why it's our retreat now. That's why we're going to be bringing women that need to just have some time out to that place. So it was very masked, and Katrina saw the worth in that man. She saw who he was on a soul level, and she looked past him not having a lot of money, because he supported her in making money, and he supported her when she said, "Hey, we're moving, we need to find some other property." She led the way and he followed. And that's how they gained their abundance. They also gained it because they were in a faithful, committed relationship, working side by side every day. So the funny thing is it doesn't look like we have anything. Like, okay, so you just have a 30-acre farm. Like, because he didn't have a normal job, he was looked at as lesser of a human. My family, Katrina's family, still thinks that he was a lesser human that did not provide for his family. She totally disagrees, and she sees that, wow, I was committed to a man for 20 years, and I got a 30-acre farm that's passed down generational wealth to children, to 4 children, and it's protected. Because, and there's not going to be very many people watching this video, so it's not like I'm, not protected because I'm mentioning this. But sometimes people and places are masked in a good way, in a protection kind of way. Like, people don't see their value, but some people do. And a divine feminine sees the value in a man, even when he doesn't see it. And she sees the value in a property, even when he doesn't see it. And it's not a divine feminine, it's a Queen of Pentacles. That's why I'm talking about this. I'm Queen of Pentacles. So we're high vibrational. We see what other people don't see. We're the 1% that see, I see that business. I see that property becoming something of value. I see that person for who they really are, under the layers of brainwashing, conditioning, living in this world, trauma, fear. And I see them for who they can be. And it's really why we're all coaches as well, because we see in people what they don't see in themselves. We see the best version of them. We see what they can rise up and be. And that's one of my jobs as the leader here, the queen, the ruling queen, is to see in people what they don't see and then help them get there. So, like I've said, like we've thought about it, we've talked about it here, and it's like, okay, so, even to my family, I was a farm girl struggling, to get the place together, but it's coming together more and more. And one day it's going to be beautiful, and it's going to have the little huts around it, and it's going to be what we envisioned, with time. And that's okay. Pentacles take time. Like, Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles are the slowest moving in the tarot deck. They're not, you can speak your truth like immediately like that, like it just comes out of your mouth. But to grow your pentacles takes a lot of time. It takes commitment. And, sharing your sexual energy, your wand, your inspiration, whatever, that can happen very fast too. Love takes a little more time. Pentacles take a commitment and a lot longer to see what you originally saw to see it come into being. And so when you make that long-term commitment to a man for 20 years, 20 years later, you see what you got with that person. And it was all built on love, because you're king and queen of pentacles. So you embody love and inspiration and truth. You are truthful with each other. You do not lie to each other. You do not hold secrets. Like, you have to have that foundation first of truth before any of those other ones. And I was going to talk more about those, but she just wanted me to talk about this. So sometimes our wealth is masked to others around us, and that's okay. But if you know in your heart and soul, I know what I'm worth, and I know that the partner I find, I know they're worth something. Now, you really have to see, you have to get to know that person and really know if they're the right person for you. But I want to hold that vision that everybody, if they truly desire it and they ask for it from the universe and they tap into that energy, if you ask for it and you're very clear about what you want in your life, you will get it. And if you want a King of Pentacles and you want to build a business with that person and you want a good, loyal, faithful man by your side, you will have it. You can get that. Don't ever let anybody say that you can't get it, and don't let yourself say that you can't get it. I meet female friends that think they don't know their own worth, and they think that they're just going to get another toxic guy in their life, or they don't see it ever happening. You have to see it happening. You have to know and believe 100% or more that you will get and achieve what you want in your life. So anyway, I hope I made that clear. And if you're one of those females that wants to attract your King of Pentacles, we'll have next steps for you. We'll help you figure it out. And yeah, just like we are. All right. Thank you for watching. I love you.